This is the ERAYAK 4500W Dual-Fuel Portable Inverter Generator. And if you're like me, a person who's always looking for reliable backup power for home, RV, or the occasional camping trip, then you've probably come across this eye-catching little machine. When I first unboxed the generator, I was honestly surprised by its compact and sturdy build. It's got a pretty modern look with that red casing and a streamlined profile. I was expecting something bulkier, but in reality, it looks almost like a big piece of tech luggage or a beefed-up carry-on. The handle feels comfortable in the hand, and at just about 54 pounds, I realized I could lift and move it on my own without even breaking a sweat. That's worth mentioning, because if you've ever tried to move one of those gigantic old-school generators, you know the struggle. In terms of size, it checks in at just over 20 inches long, a little under 12 inches wide, and about 19 inches high. It fits cleanly in the trunk of my car, which is exactly what I want when I go car camping or pull my RV somewhere new. Those dimensions also make it super easy to store in my garage or utility space at home. No need to rearrange everything just to make it fit. Visually, the control panel is straightforward and user-friendly, with all the main switches, fuel inputs, and plugs clearly labeled. That might sound basic, but when you're running around in the middle of a blackout or the weather gets messy, you really appreciate not having to squint and guess what each button does. From my experience firing it up, the process reminded me of starting a regular lawnmower. Nothing complicated. The recoil start worked smoothly, and all the instructions were right in the manual. The manufacturers even included some tools and an oil funnel, which is handy if you're new to generators or just want everything in one place. I do remember my first try. I spent a minute fumbling with the choke, but honestly, after the first run, starting it up became second nature. If you're coming from a background of never having owned a generator, or if you're a bit anxious about maintaining one, here's a quick tip. Oil changes and the odd spark plug swap are about all you need to keep this machine happy. The setup overall is pretty quick, and there are plenty of YouTube videos out there to guide you step by step. Let's talk about the key features that make this generator stand out for me. Top of the list, the dual fuel capability. This is not something you see every day on more affordable models. I can run the ERAYAK 4500W on regular gasoline or propane. That makes a huge difference when I'm planning a longer off-grid trip or prepping for a storm at home. If I run out of gasoline, the generator will automatically switch over to propane without shutting down, so I don't have to worry about sudden power interruptions. That seamless fuel switching is a lifesaver, especially when you want to keep your fridge running or your CPAP machine powered overnight and you just can't keep checking the fuel levels. It's perfect for anyone concerned about power quality, because this model uses inverter technology. In simple terms, that means you get a clean, stable flow of electricity, pure sine wave output, which is safe enough for laptops, TVs, or even your phone chargers. There's no risk of unexpected power spikes damaging sensitive electronics. That's something that really matters to me because, in the past, I've fried a router during a generator test. Not with this ERAYAK. Noise is another thing I look out for, especially if I want to use the generator at a campground or a quiet neighborhood. This model is super quiet. At 23 feet away, it runs at about 58 decibels at a quarter load. That's quieter than a normal conversation, so I never have to worry about annoying my family, or my neighbors for that matter. I can actually stand next to it and have a chat without raising my voice. There's also an eco mode, which I often use. That feature automatically adjusts the engine speed based on whatever is plugged in, so you're not burning unnecessary fuel when running just a few lights or charging something small. That helps stretch the runtime up to 16 hours on a single tank at low load, and even longer if I'm connected to propane. I'd recommend this for anyone looking for something portable. Once you've used generators that take 2 people to move, having something at 54 pounds that you can pick up and slide into your car feels like a total upgrade. The sturdy handle makes carrying it a breeze, and the overall build just feels solid. The panel has all the outlets I need. 2 120-volt home-style AC outlets, a 30-amp RV port for bigger gear, and both USB-A and USB-C for devices. I've charged everything from power banks to a small chest freezer and a TV during a power outage, and it handled them all without a hiccup. The carbon monoxide sensor is another smart safety touch. I once left a gas generator running close to a window by accident, and I don't even want to think about what could have happened if it weren't for built-in code detection. In this model, if the air gets unsafe, it simply shuts down. You can even turn that feature off manually for outdoor-only use. But it's good to know the safety net is there, especially if you're in a tight space like an RV. there are definitely things that stand out on the positive side for me. I really appreciate the fuel efficiency, not just to save money, but because it means fewer trips to the gas station and less to worry about if I'm off-grid for the weekend. The pure sine wave inverter power makes me confident about hooking up anything from the fridge to my laptop and not worrying about surges. Portability is a huge win. I also like that the frame and build actually feel tough enough to kick around a bit. Life happens. My generator's been through rain, being set down in the dirt, and the occasional drop, and nothing's rattled loose or broken yet. Plus, the dedicated RV outlet means I can run my travel trailer's air conditioner without hauling a step-down adapter. That's not to say this ERAYAK is perfect. From my experience, the initial setup, especially the first start, can take a minute if you haven't dealt with generators before. The manual is pretty clear, but I still wish there was an easier way of explaining the choke and fuel switch for first-timers. Also, you have to buy the parallel kit separately if you want to link up two of these for even more power. If you're only ever going to need one, that's fine, but if you want to power up an entire large RV or use it for heavier-duty home backup, you have to factor in the extra cost. Another minor complaint: it comes with basic tools and an oil funnel, but there's no weather cover included, so you'll want to pick one up if you store your generator outside or in a damp garage. For the price, I think that would have been a nice touch. I'll also mention that while it holds up well in regular use, I have yet to test it through multiple years of back-to-back heavy use. But with regular oil changes and some very basic maintenance, just like a lawnmower or any other small engine, I expect it to last. In conclusion, the ERAYAK 4500W Dual-Fuel Portable Inverter Generator is, in my opinion, a top choice if you want flexibility, reliable power, and quiet operation in a portable package. It's perfect for campers, RV owners, folks who need backup energy for their home, or even someone running small appliances on a job site. From my experience, the versatility of fuel options, ease of transport, and clean inverter power really make life easier, especially when the power goes out and you just want things to work. While a couple of accessories would round out the package, and the learning curve on your first start might take a little patience, the value here is hard to beat. If you found this quick review helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment below about your own generator experiences, or if you have any questions about this one. Thank you for watching.